But to me, developing relationships is something that lasts your entire life. So how do you get there? The first thing, and this is something that I really had to come to after a number of years. The first thing that I'm thinking of is that when you're wanting to establish relationships, they're going to be great for your adventure, whether it's your business or your nonprofit or your passion in life, whatever it is. Think about the kinds of people you really want to create relationships with. And most importantly to that, how they affect you. So give me some examples. What are some of the attributes of people you would like to create a relationship with? High energy. What else? Creative. Wait. Faster than me, right? Honest. Reliable. Say what? Caring. That's a great one. Say what?
Effective at whatever they do.
Effective. Passionate?
Fun.
Fun is a huge one. God, sense of humor is massive. Ethical. Okay, let's just kind of pause there because you can come up with your own list. I'd say tonight you should go home and spend at least 6 hours putting together a relationship development plan, right? Yeah, that's going to happen. Or 6 minutes, whichever it takes. So choosing carefully, let's say this is your list and you want to find somebody like that. How on earth would you go about seeking and connecting with people who meet these criteria?
Be that yourself.
Ooh, you're jumping ahead. Be the person you want to meet. It's really an adaptation, yeah. Be the change you wish to see in the world. That we just made this be the person you want to meet. With really bad handwriting, I apologize for that. How else would you go about it?
Be honest.
Be honest? If I'm in a crowd, I just walked into a big business after. Was there one last night? How many people? Hundreds? Masses so big you cannot fathom how many people were in the room. You walk in there and you need to find somebody who's caring and effective and passionate and fun and ethical and innovative. How in the world are you going to do that? Communicate.
Gotta ask questions.
Oh, really? What is that word again? Who said that?
Listen.
Listen. Wow. So what are you listening to? Are you just walking around saying, I'm going to listen for laughter because I know that person will be fun? Is that what you're doing? There, I heard laughter back there. Are you fun? You're fun. And then you zoom in, right? You could do that. What's another way you can listen? Pay attention. What else can you do that? See, who said that? Seek to understand what? Sounds very heavy. Seek to understand, yeah.
Understand what they're communicating, but for you have to gather more information. So in order to understand, you have to gather more information. You have to seek it out to understand what somebody else is trying to communicate.
And to find their interest and their passion.
Find their passion.
Let them talk.
So when you go into a room today, and it's a mass quantity, throngs beyond that you can imagine, and you're walking around, do you do any of that? Do you consciously think about, I want to find some great people today? So you want to have spontaneity in the process, right? So when you walk into the room, you don't want to have the mission. I'm going to go, and who can I pick on? Back row. I walk up to Terry, and I'm thinking, people told me Terry's fun, and I start visiting with him, and I think, he doesn't seem so positive and creative today. So I'm going to ditch him and go on to Ken. You don't want to do that, right? Because what does that say about you?
You're awful.
You're awful, exactly. That's right. What's another way that you can ensure that you can start honing in on people you really want to connect with?
Interacting with, whatever you like to do.
That's great. You know, when you're thinking about branding an organization, I just heard somebody on the radio, personal branding is becoming a hot topic for business. It's true, everybody in this room has a brand, and like brands tend to gather together. So if you have a certain reputation, it'd be very strange if you have a group, a posse that walks around, and there's somebody in that group who's completely, radically different than everybody else. You tend to attract similar people. So birds of a feather is a great way to kind of naturally attract people around you that are going to share some of your values. But when you're thinking about after the fact, you've already been to the big event, how do you reconcile who you've met and who you choose to establish a stronger relationship with?
I was going to go backwards. Can I go backwards?
Yeah, sure.
I had two thoughts. One, scout the talent. I mean, do your homework ahead of time, especially on Meetup, because you can look at you can see people who posted their profiles, which is why John has told everybody to post information about you. You can pre-plan on who are the people that you want to go meet. And then the second thing, actually, at the event, you can ask somebody who's there that you already know, who should I go talk to, or Allie, Brian, Dan, who's here tonight that I should meet.
Yeah.
And if they know you, they can help steer you in the right direction, right? Because they know a little bit about you, they know your personality, they know what you're looking for. They can be a great person to go make the introduction for you. So this doesn't have to be all you on your own, per se.
So it's after the fact, you've met some people. What process do you go through in your own mind?
Capture impressions, because you may be looking today for someone who's positive and energetic and outgoing, but 2 weeks from now you might need some reserved accountant type to help you with a situation.
Follow your gut.
Oh, that's a great one. If you spend a lot of your life interacting with lots and lots of people, like a lot of people in this room, I tell you, I find it uncanny the number of times that I'll be in a large crush of people and visiting with folks, and it doesn't happen very often. It's like 1 in 100 people. All of a sudden I run into somebody and I just immediately need to get away quickly. There's like there's a bad vibe, you know? And I don't really believe in a lot of that stuff, but man, I believe it when it comes to my gut. And there are other people where you connect and you think, I want to know this person. This person is somebody who can bring something in my life and I can bring something back to theirs. You know, there's something there. So the gut thing is really important. Feel pretty satisfied with all that? Let's talk about creating and building a relationship. What are the fundamental elements? What are the best ways you can think of to build a relationship? It's all sounding like dating, isn't it? It's very similar, actually. Shared activities. Yeah. So somebody on the last topic over here, I think it was you, said a single word that I overreacted to, said, oh, that's so great, that's so great. Listen. I met a new person yesterday. I met a lot of new people in my job. This person, I was giving a tour of the gardens, and we were chatting, a person from another nonprofit, and seemed perfectly pleasant. Every time I started to talk, he started to talk. Do you know people like that? It's so interesting to me. I used to go from, I feel really irritated, to now later in life, because I'm super old now, I just stop and let them go. And then I'll try it out later. And I'm trying to experiment with to figure out what on earth are they doing? Why are they doing this? Because it really is interesting. And I think, what is their purpose here? So listen, listen, listen. If you listen to people, you can show empathy, you can show appropriateness, you can actually be sincere and an interest in their life and what they're doing. And better yet, you can do probably the greatest thing that will help build a relationship. Anybody know what that is? You can figure out a way to help them. We talked about this for years at the Chamber. The brilliance of the South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce is that deep in its character, it has figured out that it is important for the entire culture to be focused on ways that you can help somebody else. Not ways that you can get what you want from the organization, but to lead by figuring out a way to help somebody else. When you lead with that, you don't ever have to ask anybody to help you. Now, John is big on this, and I totally support it. It's hard to do, but I don't think there's much in life that can create a stronger relationship than figuring out a way to share an adventure. Over the years, the Chamber has had all kinds of adventures, rafting trips, hiking trips. The big day was a really great shared adventure for a lot of people. If you're planting vegetables and digging weeds with a group of people, you get to know them in a really big hurry, right? If you hike the Inca Trail with people, you make a bond. We're going to know each other for the rest of our life. If you choose a big, dramatic, difficult task, everybody weathers it together. At some point, everybody had to show courage and innovation and chip in and pull an all-nighter and do the extraordinary thing. You not only learn about each other's character, you not only admire each other, but you create a relationship that can last a very, very long time because you know what to expect from those people. Think about your oldest friend. Not your oldest friend, the friend that you've had the longest. How many years have you had that friend? Just shout it out. 25, 30 something? 40? 50? 53? Prenatal? Way prenatal, yes, exactly. Isn't that amazing?
My best friend and I are 180 degrees opposite politically. We hardly ever talk politics.
That's smart because you'd be forgiving a lot, probably. So what do you talk about?
All kinds of other things. I mean,
Yeah.
Family, work, sports. I mean, things that matter, but we just know the areas that we agree to disagree, and we respect each other for that.
That's great. Because pretty much if you only are relating to people who completely agree with you at any given time, you're not really looking for a relationship. You're looking for more of you, you know. And that's not terribly interesting. You got to shake it up a little bit. Anything else?
Being unselfish.
Being unselfish. Well, that's going to take me to the last topic. I would like to end this by talking about that word, the four-letter word. Lore. No, it's love. That's a V. Lore, like sagas of old. Yeah, exactly. It's a medieval tale that I shall tell you now. At all of these new member briefings, we talked a lot about the fundamental law that's in virtually every religion, every philosophy worldwide. And it really hits true in the Chamber. I started working at this organization in 1986. And part of that was mainly not observing so much the people that constantly talk when you're trying to talk and just aren't, you know, doing all their stuff, but really trying to figure out what makes people successful. Why do some people break through and others don't? And there are a lot of people in highly competitive fields that most people would throw up their hands and say, well, it's impossible to get clients now because, you know, this happened in the economy. Or as a nonprofit, we can't raise money now. We can't do this now. Always defeatist, always negative, always, you know, throwing the... Why is it some people just could? Trying to figure out what that's all about. And so I would just do a mental check about all the highly successful people that I had the privilege of meeting at this organization. And it became pretty clear that they lived by that fundamental principle. The fundamental idea of what you put out there comes back to you, that what you reap is what you sow. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That what goes around comes around, karma. That principle turns out to be a really great business tool as well as a life tool. And so you look at that and you say, so if I start seeing that in all the people around me and I see the people who are creating a great business success and a great life for themselves and they're taking their hits as smoothly as they are their gains, What is it that they're demonstrating? And what is that really all about? And I remember thinking this when I left the chamber a long time ago now, about 9 years ago. And I thought this place really taught me what that word means. And for me, what I learned is that that word is about the celebration of the other. Primary to your life, it was the celebration of the other. And it's an unflinching celebration. You're not saying, oh, I'm really glad for you, great job again, you know, and you're kind of holding back. It's a genuine joy at the success of the one you love, whether that's an organization, another human being, a group of people. It's that joy. I feel that joy, I can tell you, on a near daily basis about the entire crew at Denver Botanic Gardens, where Sue Ann and I have the privilege of working. I see the results of what they create on a daily basis, and I am earnestly, deeply enthralled by what they've created. I love them and what they're doing, and I live that out daily, and it's a privilege to feel that. And I think if you seek that in your relationship building within any organization, but especially one that gets it deep in its DNA like the South Metro Denver Chamber uniquely does, I think you can't help but create relationships that are going to last for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and change the world. So we're 2 minutes before our time, and I really love that you were here. I really appreciate it. Can I answer any final questions before we're finished? There's always somebody who ends it with the ring. It's a good ring, though. I like it. Anything else? Yeah, forgiveness. You're forgiven. Yeah. Anybody have anything else? Was that remotely helpful? Okay, great. Thank you very much for having me back. That was fun.